memories are always of lots of cuddles and the feeling of love and security with my mum. I used to think she was a princess. She was just so pretty to me. I can remember dressing up and trying to walk in her high-heeled shoes, which were always too big, until one day, overnight, they were too small. She had such tiny little feet. When I was a teenager, people often mistook her for my sister, and she would get a little bit upset for me. But I used to say, "It's okay, Mum." And the older I got, the prouder I was that people thought we were so close. I remember when I rang her to say she was going to be a grandmother, and her joking about being too young, and yet, boy, was she excited. She just loved her grandchildren, but still working, she found it hard to spend a lot of time with them in those days, but was always telling people how good they were and how gorgeous. Later, after retiring, she had more time to spend with her great-grandchildren, who affectionately called her Nana Sawney, after her replacements. She used to really enjoy the fact that when she went to the airport, she set off every alarm possible. There was a gap of 23 years when we had moved to the Atherton Tablelands to live, where we didn't see much of Mum. But she'd come up at Christmases and we'd come down often to visit, and boy, did we ring. I can remember when Dan got his certification as a boilermaker, she couldn't stop talking about it. She kept telling me she always knew how talented he was. And when people visited her this last 12 months, you could always hear Wes's gospel disc playing in the background. I think she sold 100. I decided to move back down to Brisbane to be closer to my mum and my family. And I was able to spend time with her every week these past 3.5 years. So often we'd sit down over a cuppa and chat about the old times. We were normal kids, mind you, scallywags, but we always knew that she loved us and she never judged. We often laughed about the childhood antics Gary and I got up to, and I can remember her favourite saying when she caught us out, "A little bird told me." That was her favourite thing. She still had that sense of humour in these last years, which is one of the things that Dennis enjoyed, and they would banter a lot now and again, and he's going to miss her too. She enjoyed watching her garden develop. She loved the birds coming to eat and bathe in a little bath. And I soon discovered when I moved down here, just boy, what a social life she had. I'd have been exhausted over the Christmas period. I couldn't have kept up with her. Being able to spend time with her brother Walt and her sister Marge just recently was such a wonderful boon. And watching them together, just chatting over their lives as kids, was just so precious. Our Lord gave her quality in those last 2 months, and the strength to enjoy those visits, and many others from her dear friends and family, sitting outside marvelling at the Lord's handiwork, and often just falling asleep in her chair with her Bible in her lap. When we were told by the hospital staff that I could take Mum's little dog Millie into the hospital to visit her, it was just great. Mum's eyes would just light up, and Millie would just jump on the bed and snuggle into Mum. The staff would all line up for a cuddle too, and Mum would beam with pride, especially since we'd been told by a fellow patient that she wasn't just a silky cross that the refuge told us. She was a pure West Highland terrier. Made Mum's day. Over these last 3 years, my mum had become my best friend. And I'll treasure the memories of us doing all the little girly things, colouring each other's hair, doing each other's nails, shopping for clothes. I can still see her cheeky smile, and she never lost her sense of humour. Her family often joked about her always being full of mischief, and it was one of the things that made her unique. Mum often reflected that these last years had been the best in her life, and you could see it by the contentment she showed. And these last few months, her courage, her strength, and her faith were amazing. And I'll always miss her, but I know where she is.
Thanks, Di. What a beautiful tribute. And now we'll hear from Sue.
don't know how much that means. I've just got a few little things about Mum that, funny little things. Mum was a gentle little lady, but also quite a character and led a very colourful life. She said many times the last 10 years of her life were the best years of her life. She was on her own, and God provided for her the friendships and finances that she needed to have a great life. She made a lot of friends and was so fortunate to live close to some special ones that she was thankful for every day. And this group of ladies went to dinners, went to movies, had a wonderful time, and she became more outgoing than I had ever known her to be. Mum could cook a pav to die for. No event was complete without one of her pavs. The guys just loved it, and hedgehog every Christmas, everyone got hedgehog. Hedgehog was special. I always called Mum the dog lady. There were times when we used to go walking together and I would pretend I wasn't with her because she would go over and she would pat a dog, any dog, and we'd go all gushy and say, "Oh, I love you, darling, you're so beautiful." And I would say I would never be like that. And now, well, my sister would just do that. I've got photos of Mum when she was about 7 with the dog in her arms. And there were many dogs in her arms in photos over the years. I remember talking about her dog Laddie when she was a child, that he disappeared and she did a sign for him, Laddie, the best dog that ever lived. And she always thought the Egyptians took him and ate him. they lived in Egypt. Mum would leave funny messages on the answering machine, a lot which I've taped over the years, so I've got a voice which I'll listen to when I'm ready. But this is the last one she left, and it's funny, and it was just shows what she was like. And I'll try, this is word for word, but I don't know if I can say it like her. "Hi Sue, there's a mouse in my house. Pussy brought it in, I think, but she lost it, and she wouldn't look for it. Oh well, I'll survive. Bye." She was really funny. She didn't try to be, she just was. Most of all, I remember Mum for her unconditional love. Through the tumultuous and difficult years that life brings sometimes, her unconditional love remains steadfast, and that is the best gift she could have ever given any of her 3 children. She always felt that I would be all right and that Bob would look after me, always asked about Warren and the kids, and always expected the best. Nobody could make peanut butter sandwiches like Warren's Nana. Nana was a second parent to Warren when he was little and loved his kids. We will really miss her. Even in hospital the last few days, when she did wake up, she gave a cheek. She could be very gentle, a very gentle little lady. We also used to call her the Spitfire lovingly, because there was another side to Mum, and she kind of liked that. Anyway, she's where she needs to be now, and I'll miss her. I'll always miss her.
Thanks, Sue. Love the bit about the dogs. What is it they say about the apple not falling far from the tree? Oh, what 2 beautiful tributes from the heart, and just reflects so many things. There are a lot of who would have loved to be here in Brisbane. I'm just reading a few messages that came in. One from Dennis Carroll: "We have great memories to cherish. Love to all the family," from Karen and Dennis. Dogs are very, very special to us and all the Carnell family. She was strong in spirit, ministering to others right up to the end, and now rejoicing eternally, from Victoria Carnell. From Rachel Herring: "We will be praying for the family as they celebrate the life and homegoing." Margaret Wetzel: "Sorry to hear about Isobel, take care." And from Lael, Jean, Tim, Kate and Dan: "We're thinking of you all this afternoon, hoping it's a lovely day full of wonderful memories." And there are so many more that will come as well. They say a picture paints 1,000 words, friends, and we know that's true. So if you look at the screen now, we're going to see a visual tribute with the family of combined of their memories of Dot over the years.